Good day, sir. I am Ronnie Camco and I will discuss or report the Mining Act of 1995 or RA 7942 and its revised implementing rules and regulations or IRR. So, in this introductory slide of my presentation, again, I will introduce to you the topic, the Mining Act of 1995 or RA 7942 and its revised implementing rules and regulations or IRR. So this provides the title and the sets the stage for the information that I'm going to cover. So the subtitle gives an overview of what will be discussed. So the key components of the Mining Act and its regulations. So the image of a mining operation or a map of the Philippines can help visually reinforce the topic. So in my introduction, I provide a board introduction to the Mining Act of 1985 or RA 7942 and its revised implementing rules and regulations. So, as I explained, the RA 7942 is the primary legislation governing mining in the Philippines. So this law is designed to regulate mining operations while promoting sustainable development. The revised IRR further provides detailed instructions on how this law should be implemented and enforced. So, the main objectives of the Mining Act of 1995, these objectives focus on ensuring that mining activities are done sustainably, that they benefit the economic, and they respect the rights of local communities. So, particularly indigenous peoples. So, they have sustainable mining practices uh, that the law to promote responsible mining that doesn't harm the environment. Next, the economic development. Mining should contribute positively to the country's economic. Third, social responsibility to ensure that the local communities and IPs are considered in mining operations. And last, investment promotion. So the law seeks to encourage both local and foreign investment in the mining industry. Uh, so in these slides break down the key provisions of the Mining Act of 1995. Each provisions explains a fundamental aspect of the law. First, the mining rights. The law defines three types of mining rights. The the law defines three types of mining rights. We have exploration, development, and utilization, which govern the different stages of the mining operations. Second, permit requirements. Mining companies must ensure government permits, including environmental compliance certificates, before starting operations. Next, environmental protection. The law requires companies to adopt responsible mining practices that protect the environment. Fourth, revenue sharing. It ensures that mining companies share their revenues with both the government and affected communities. And last, indigenous people rights. It provides safeguards to ensure that IP's rights are respected, including the need for their consents before mining can take place on the ancestral lands. Next, we have so this slides focuses on the different mining rights under the law. So explaining the three types, as I said earlier. So the exploration rights. So this allows individuals or companies to search for minerals in a specific area. Next, development rights. If the exploration is successful, development rights permit the extraction and processing of minerals. And last, utilization rights. Once development has been done, the rights to fully utilize and commercially exploit the minerals and granted. So in these slides, as you can see, the clarifies the rule of the revised implementing rules and regulations. So the IRR serves as the detailed guide for implementing the Mining Act of 1995. So it provides a specific guidelines on technical procedures, the approval process for mining projects, and the enforcement of environmental standards. Next, it ensures the provisions of the Mining Act are carried out in practice, especially concerning the protection of the environment and the rights of local communities. So in these slides, it highlights the environmental focus on the Mining Act and its IRR. So the first is the law mandates that mining companies are responsible for the environmental protection of the mining areas and must take measures to restore the environment once mining is completed. It also requires mining companies to submit an environmental impact statement before they can operate. And last, rehabilitation of mined out areas is mandatory. Mining companies must restore the land to a safe and as usual condition after mining ends. Next, the protection of indigenous peoples or IP's rights under the Mining Act. So this law requires mining operation to seek fire prior and informed consents from indigenous communities before mining operations can proceed in ancestral land. It emphasized the IPs must be fully informed of the potential impacts of mining, and their consent is crucial for the project to move forward. And this ensure that mining activities do not negatively impact their way of life, culture, or land. Hala, nasinda ako. So in this slides explains how the revenue from mining is shared between the government and local communities. So mining companies are required to pay taxes, royalties, and other fees to both the national government and the local government where mining occurs. A portion of the revenue is also directed to support the social development of the affected communities, ensuring that they benefit from mining activities. So, in these slides, addresses the challenges and controversies surrounding mining in the Philippines, even with the legal framework in place. So we have the environmental impact. So despite the regulations, mining often causes damage to ecosystem and biodiversity. Next, indigenous rights. So there are instances where mining projects have gone forward without the full consent of indigenous communities, leading to conflict. And last, regulatory enforcement. So ensuring that all mining companies adhere to the law is a constant challenge, and some companies do not fully comply with environmental or social responsibility guidelines. So, in this concluding slide, I summarize the main points of the presentation. So, the Mining Act of 1995 and its revised IRR aim to regulate mining in a way that balances economic development with environmental protection and respect for the rights of local communities. However, challenges remain in terms of enforcement and ensuring that the law's provisions are fully implemented. Diba?